back on the XJ. If you're familiar with Jeeps, you know the check engine light always comes on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I put together. I reached out to PQY Performance. They got a lot of aftermarket products and stuff like that. And what we're doing for the downstream check engine light is the O2 sensor dummy plug. What you actually do is you unscrew your O2 sensor from the cat area, then you screw this in place of it. Not sure exactly how it works, but I know it does. And then you screw in your O2 sensor here. Now, in order to do this, you will need an O2 sensor wrench. You can Google those and see what they are. But fortunately, I have one. I ended up getting two of these. I got one for the upstream O2 sensor. Not sure if I'm going to fool with that yet, but when I get to the tuning aspect, I may. You got to be careful on two things. One, you mess with the upstream. You kind of need to know what you're doing with tuning the engine. You can create a couple unwanted issues with air-fuel mixture ratio. And two, you need to check your local laws to make sure bypassing that is legal. But check them out. They got a couple different sizes online. You can get. All right, so as mentioned earlier, here is the O2 sensor wrench. Slides over the wires, you put it in, put a ratchet on there. You can ratchet it off. Sometimes they're a pain in the ass to get off, but you can put a torch on the actual O2 sensor, heat up the metal, and it'll kind of burn some of that carbon off to let you get it out. So here's what the actual O2 sensor looks like. Sensor's obviously on the end. And then here's that connection piece. So what they've got is if you unscrew this, there's a little filter in there that kind of helps filter out the stuff so it knows not to turn your check engine light on. And then essentially this just slides onto your O2 sensor. It screws in, and then you screw this into where the O2 sensor was. So let me get it back in there, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So essentially, here's my cat. Of course, my exhaust is down here, my muffler. So this essentially screws into the bum on the cat. Screws in here. Again, make sure it's all tightened up good. And then your O2 sensor will slide into that. And then just make sure you keep your wires out of the way. All right, here's a little bit better angle of what it should look like when it's finished installed. That should take care of any check engine light you have from the downstream O2 sensor. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. All right, I didn't take a picture or video prior to showing the check engine light, but as you can see, it usually goes right here next to the toggle under the speedometer. No lights on. Obviously the car is running. Got a little mud on it, but everything's good. Check out the link below for the product and their website. All right, obviously check for specific applications, but for this XJ, which is probably the similar on, the TJs, YJs, and even Grand Cherokees, is OSE03. So check them out. You won't be disappointed.